and welcome back to another week. It is so nice outside, so we decided that this week we are going to do a refresh of our porch. All winter long, we put everything away. We put the porch swing away, tables and chairs, and we kind of just leave it as a blank slate. And then when it starts getting nice out consistently, we start bringing everything back out. It really is the best way to start off spring and summer. So we figured we are going to get a start to it a little early. That way we can enjoy the warmer days that are coming. Just wanted to give you a brief look at what it looks like before and then share what our plans are for this week. Hopefully by the end of this week we can get all of the furniture out and everything cleaned up and ready to go. So first things first, we have to clean everything. That's the task that I want to get started with today. So it's not that much of the fun part, but I want to try to get all the webs off and at least maybe take the hose out and get everything in good rinse before we can do the fun stuff. I think we're going to start with that today. Light that we got. It was sold by Studio McGee. Dan's gonna put this up and we're gonna go to the garden center to get some flowers. See if you like this one. Yesterday, I went to the garden center. I bought a good amount of flowers for the 3 baskets and for the 2 pots that I have in the front of the house. You might be able to see the light. It got hung up, which is really nice. It's just like a nice little added touch that we haven't done in a while, and it was a long time coming for that light. When we initially did the porch ceiling, we didn't know that we were going to paint it. I kind of just changed my mind. I wanted to make it match the rest of the house. The rest of the house is painted in White Dove by Benjamin Moore. And so initially we put wood panels up there and then we ended up painting them White Dove. The knots from the wood keep coming through. This year I think what I'm going to do is just give it like a fresh coat. Today, what I would love to do is to spot treat those rings. I would also want to pot the actual plants and do the baskets. I also would love to get the porch swing up. So I don't know if time will permit for that. I want to try, but we'll see how far we can get. I think I would be very happy if I just got the paint touched up and the pots planted for today. I bought so many flowers from the garden center and I am so excited because now I'm going to pot them. I have 2 containers that I use. This is the bigger one. It's very cute. It's definitely seen its days, but I just love the shape of it. I love that it gives the look of terracotta even though it really isn't terracotta. And then I have the shorter version of that, which is this one. This one's really cute. Same kind of look. These baskets I love. I put them on the hooks. I have 3 hooks in front of my house. So I'm gonna fill these ones too. And then I have just a lavender plant that I'm gonna put on the table where we usually have our 2 chairs and we sit by the porch swing oftentimes. So I'm gonna plant just like a lavender plant there. I'm gonna start planting now. So I'm gonna show you all the beautiful flowers I got. I got a mixture of a bunch of different ones. So if you've ever planted before, you know that there's like a bunch of diagrams online where you can see how to fill the pot that you're planting. And I'm sure you've heard of this before, but there's 3 different types of plants that you want to look for. So it's a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. And the thriller is one that kind of is taller. It gives the arrangement some height. So for my thriller, I went with this plant. This is stock. It's a vintage mix. I loved it because it was white. I like to go with something that kind of blends in with the house a little bit. So since my house is white, I usually like to go with some sort of white in my arrangement. If you notice, this plant is on the taller side. So when I plant it into the pot, it'll be the one that sticks up the most. And even on the sides, it'll give it some height. So I went with this for both of them. Anytime I do both of my planters, I'll choose the same colors or even the same plants, and that way it gives it this kind of cohesion that I'm looking for. Filler, I decided to go with this purple color, and I thought that that would be really pretty in there. This is going to spread a lot, and it's a sun to part shade, which is perfect because our porch does get some sun, but not a lot, enough for me to worry that this is going to dry out or like burn in any way. So that is the filler for the pot. And then for the spiller, I love going with this, the alyssum, or I think it's called alyssum. But basically this looks like teeny little clouds, and then when you put them, they fill up the pot. So it does also serve as a filler, but they spill over the pot, which kind of gives this sort of movement to the arrangement, which I think is super pretty. I usually like to go with 3. So I go with a thriller, a filler, a spiller. I don't kind of just like throw a lot in there because you want to give it room to expand and grow as you water it. So at first it looks a little bit like it doesn't look super full, but you'll see that the arrangement starts to grow and it looks prettier with time. Gardening is literally such a labor of love, but if you want to try and get better at it, it's just so important to just do it. I remember like during COVID and stuff, I really wanted to start my own garden beds and all of that. I just got like so intimidated at the fact that I knew nothing about flowers, and I just knew I wanted to have them. So I read a book and just started, and I killed so many plants. It's so sad, but at the end of the day, I've learned so much, and it's really just like a trial and error kind of a thing. I enjoy it. It's super therapeutic for me. Every spring and summer, I'm like super excited to start up again. I am going to work on the baskets now. So I got these liners. They're called like cocoa liners. So I went with a little bit of a different color scheme for this. I'm still doing thriller, filler, spiller, but I decided to go with different colors and different kinds of plants. So for the thriller, I decided to go with this plant, which is called Nemesia, and it's specifically Nemesia Tutti Frutti. It's also an annual. Obviously, all of these are annuals. I only have my baskets for the spring and summer, and a lot of times I will end up either switching out a plant, if they die, or if they are just temporary for a certain amount of time, and then I'll give them usually like a refresh somewhere in the middle of the summer. Yeah, so I do it 3/4 of the way down, and then I'm going to start with this first plant. So this is the thriller that I was talking about. It's going to pop up. If you notice, all the roots again are really compact, so I like to break it up a little bit. Okay, great. For my filler, I'm going to be doing it's Sorbet Yellow Delight Viola, so the Viola cornuta. And I'm alternating between these and the alyssum. I even get rid of the bottom sometimes. Oh, and one other plant. So this is a pansy. It's so pretty. It's like this like butter yellow, which I know is having a moment right now. Paying a little homage to that. So I thought if I alternated these, they would look super pretty. And they would kind of like fill out the basket. So I'm just going back and forth with the Elysum and then the Viola. With this, it's kind of hard to gauge. I just like to spread it around with my fingers just to fill in the gaps.